find the login details? And I don't,
shall I check? Let
just check your emails, or just check your Facebook, check your LinkedIn, check your YouTube.
And me Instagram, me YouTube.
Instagram.
Exactly.
Yeah. Check all your social media. Should we give you another 20 minutes while you just check that?
It'll be more than that. I haven't even looked at messages and
Louise
things
is joining as well now.
couple of days. Wow. No, I haven't got anything flagged up. If they come, they come. Oh, somebody else. It's Louise.
Hi. Oh, hang on. There we go. Hi.
Hi, Louise. How are you? Are you
I'm
okay?
good. You look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I've gone all festive. Although Steve says that my decoration looks a little bit like a funeral wreath. So
you said a wreath, and I just thought
you did. I know. So nobody's died. It's all very well. It's my table decoration actually. It goes on my centerpiece with a candle and joyous festivities on Christmas Day. Yes. So I shall laugh, Steve, with my wreath on the Christmas Day.
Well, to be honest, no, because Jesus has been born, so it kind of there must be a hidden message there.
We have to celebrate life, and I've been planting trees, which is life, and so really. That what a connection. So it's kind of a little bit tree, and I should have had a Christmas tree, but I didn't have time. My bad. Next time, my bad. But not a real one. We don't chop them down. We plant them, not chop them down.
Gail.
Hi, Chris.
Sorry to butt in. Tell us a bit about this tree thing then, because I've seen it on. Is it LinkedIn? I think I've seen it on. Yeah.
Yes.
What's going on?
Well, I can tell us about this tree thing. So this tree
really
thing.
Yorkshire.
That was very Yorkshire. Yeah. I'm technically a Yorkshire lass. The Patt Foundation. Well, actually, Andy, do you want to? Is he still listening? Do you want to tell them a bit more about the Pact Foundation rather than me? I can tell you my involvement and the work I've been doing, but I've only been doing it for the past year as a volunteer, planting trees. Andy can actually tell you a little bit of background about it. Do you mind, Andy?
No, not at all. Pact Foundation was established 15 years ago. UK charity, was also planting extensively in Asia, planted in 7 countries in Asia, and around 3 million trees in total. And then came back and got involved with the Northern Forest Initiative. So there's a big plan to plant 50 million trees from Liverpool to Hull, not technically along the M62. And from that, realised that Hull, is where we're based, is the least forested city in the UK. So we set up the One Hull of a Forest project to plant 200,000 trees in the city over the next 10 years, which Louise is heavily involved.
Yeah, so does that give you a good overview? So the link, so the link with the Pact Foundation, the trees, and then obviously me, who's joined with the recruitment. So I got involved as a volunteer with the Pact Foundation and loved it. Saw the benefits of the mental health side. Not, I'm fortunate that I don't have mental health issues, but going out into nature and being in our busy lives, busy, stressful lives, it's nice to take time out. I took the kids with me. They thoroughly enjoyed it and saw the benefits, and I thought it's quite valuable for them to appreciate, planting. They're brought up in a very technological society nowadays where it's so easy to stick them on their Xboxes, stick them in front of the television, getting them out in nature, planting trees, seeing the importance. So I really bought into it and thought, this is great. And it's something I did and joined. And then Andy set up the Green Task Force, which was utilising his ex-Navy background. So he's got, with his connections with the forces, and started to think, right, actually I could recruit a team to plant the trees, because volunteers, it's great that people want to come and do it, but it is hard work. And, it's something that there's a way of planting trees, and it's quite a big thing to do. So what better way than get the troops that, you know, people that have been in ex-forces that are regimented, you know, they turn up early, and you have to ply them with lots of tea and coffee and biscuits and bacon butties, but you know, it's worth it. So that's where I came along with the recruitment side. I've kind of reached out to the troopers and got them involved. Does that answer?
At some point, then you'll be going. I live in Halifax, Calderdale area. You'll be targeting this area, will you not?
Yeah, totally. We've already got linkage in Wales, up north as well. So it's taking over quite a lot. There's a massive veterans and ex-servicemen community. So yeah, busy.
This is a bit of a different. This is similarly linked, but going back to the trees and nature stuff. My daughter goes to nursery, and 3 days a week her nursery has a forest school, and she absolutely loves it. And it's one of the reasons we sort of send her there, because she just getting her outdoors, basically learning outdoors rather than sat inside. Yeah.
Oh wow, that's really good. And whereabouts is that? Did you say Halifax?
Yeah, Halifax, but the owners are Scandinavian of the nursery. They're from the Swedish.
Right.
The background sort of like
they have a totally different ethics of working, and yeah. Oh, that's really. I mean, we've done with the Pact Foundation of Green Task Force. The past 2 projects have been in schools. There was Baysgarth School. Yeah, where have I got water from? Baysgarth School in Barton. So I went over the bridge to Barton, and there was even children with special needs getting so excited to plant the trees, and you know, it was really, really exciting for them. They wanted to look after them, and the enthusiasm was great. And along with the veterans, you know, they're listening to some of the banter, you know, okay, I'm female, and you know, I'm not one of the lads, but you know, I can join in and have a bit of banter with them. But listening to them, it's really good. It's fun, and they keep it clean, because obviously I'm a lady. But when I've walked off for the bacon butty, it's probably less clean. But no, it's nice, and it's nice to see them. Some of them have really struggled with the mental health. I posted a video a couple of weeks ago with one guy he'd nearly taken his own life at one point. So it's beneficial. It's quite worthwhile.
Yeah. Is that as a result of sort of, I guess, a mixture of things, lockdown, obviously the past career, obviously, to state the obvious.
Yeah, they come out of the forces, and you know, they're used to structure, routine. They have a purpose, and all of a sudden they're in everyday civilian world with, well, what do I do? And it's giving them purpose. And you know, like us all, we've all had to reset everything for COVID. You know, as getting up and going to the office for 9, finishing at 5, getting home and crashing it. Our work life is just merged. It's a mix of fitting in with the kids, and you know, like tonight doing it. There's no divide now, so things are going to change New Year. So we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully for the better, really. I felt with your work-life balance and everything. I think it'll be.
I think so.
Yeah, a lot of people have got short memories, haven't they, in certain sectors? But I think on the whole, hopefully, it'll make people who are a bit archaic and old-fashioned actually. Some of them see the light of it in terms of how people should work going forward. Hopefully.
Yeah. There's 2 sides to it. It's good to have structure and have an office. I think people, when they're all together, work better. I'm not saying that everybody has to be micromanaged or supervised, I think, but allowing people to work at home a couple of days a week gives them a sense of freedom. And I think you get a lot more done because people feel guilty being at home. So it's a case of, right, I'll get my work done, and you know, but people are making more family time, which is good. And I think it's good for parents to be involved more with their kids and do more and make that conscious effort.
No, you're right. I think going back to, speaking about my situation, at the start of lockdown, I remember for the first few weeks thinking, do you know what? I don't need to be in the office. I'll never go to the office again. Well, probably not as extreme as that, but I don't really need an office to work. Then gradually, after a period of time, you realise, actually, I do like interaction in an office. I like seeing people. And I sort of realised that what I had beforehand was actually pretty decent. It was just the flexibility that were causing a lot of your stress in life, getting home to see the children at night, having expected to be in the office around 9 o'clock, and you take all that pressure out and flexibility. It makes you realise, well, yeah, what you had before wasn't bad. It's just getting the balance right, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And we don't need to travel to the office every single day. We can have a couple of days at home, which obviously is going to be better, impactful for the environment, because it's going to be less emissions and vehicles. And so, yeah, so we'll see what the new year holds.
Yeah, you can watch Neighbours as well on a lunchtime as well, if you get to catch that as well.
Neighbours? Who watches Neighbours?
Jeremy Gall was a good one.
I don't watch it.
We know why you watch Neighbours.
I clearly watch Neighbours, don't I?
No good anymore now. Kylie Minogue's not in.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, that was like years and years ago. It's like the bloke said, "Oh, watch it because the missus does." Yeah.
That's the same as Love Island as well, then.
Oh no, I can't.
I'm a Celebrity.
No. So I'm really boring. I watch Country File, and I'm really boring. I don't really do sort of reality TV. I find it very false and boring.
No, fair enough. Country File was good this week, apparently.
Yeah, well, apparently they were planting trees, so it's all good.
Yeah, well, I think somebody's already contacted Country File to tell them about what we're doing.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
Try and get a few more people involved.
Yeah, definitely.
Links to the veterans, so that's good.
Yeah, definitely. That would be a good show. That would be a really good show. I've done some videos over the past couple of days to post out a bit more of the camaraderie with the veterans, and they actually like. Some of them don't mind going on the camera. It's quite funny. It's quite funny.
And the veterans don't mind being filmed.
No, they don't. You ask them to, and they take over. You ask them a few questions, and what was it, Martin today? Wow, show him that it was like a Louise will tell you that, because he did a live feed for you, didn't he?
We completely took it over.
Yeah, it's like just say a few things. Yeah, it was really, really funny. So
yeah, he said to me, "What do I say? What do I do?" And I said, "Well, I'll just ask you a question." I asked him one question, and that was it. I had to practically peel him off the camera.
Couldn't shut him up then.
No.
How did you feel, Louise, today, seeing that you had the army recruits there with the veterans? Did you see the interaction between them?
Yeah, that was really, really cool. And it was funny, especially, I mean, Kenny, who is 70 next year, and although he's not an ex-veteran, obviously he's he was the coordinator for the rugby, wasn't he? So he put together all the rugby team, and he was going around ordering about. But they responded, they had respect for them, which I noticed, which was really nice. The army guys were quite, what's the word, authoritative, but then in a constructive way, and they're like, come on, do this. Or if they were talking, they were like, you're slacking. And yeah, it was really good fun, and they were cheeky. And there's a couple of, there was females on there, some young girls. They're just a different breed. It's quite entertaining, and the respect's really good. I liked it.
So, what do you think, Louise? Did you see the same thing?
I did. I thought the way that they worked in teams. I was working with Martin, and they just literally, they were really quiet and to start with. But the way that they worked together was brilliant, and with the speed that we was getting the trees in was so good. And then just the interaction that I saw when we went for a coffee. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't stay all day, which I really wish I would have been able to, because I just felt that camaraderie and wanted to be part of it. And I've got to say, it's really made my week, actually spending that time with them and really being outside, dancing, having a laugh. Being in lockdown, I'm a very people orientated person, and I love being around people. So it's really difficult for me actually during lockdown to actually have that opportunity to be with a group of people, have a really good laugh, and I think probably contacts that I'll be working with later. It was fantastic. I think it's a really, really good opportunity for everyone that was there.
Because you're doing the poppy trail, aren't you, Louise?
I've just taken the poppy trail, the 2020 poppy trail down, that had about 2,000 poppies in it. And what it is, it's anyone can be part of a public art installation. So I had children from a local primary school making poppies. I had a retired fisherman who was 87 who crocheted me 176 poppies.
Wow.
So he had his own tree. So what happens, all the
that's
poppies,
so cool.
and he's adorable. He's absolutely adorable.
What's his name? Has he got an old man name? Pardon?
Peter Burrows, yeah.
I thought it was going to be called Ernie or something. That would have been better.
You wouldn't, if you met him and talked to him. I mean, he's in the early stages of dementia now.
Oh, wow.
But you'd see them to look at him, you wouldn't know that when he told me how old he was, I nearly fell off my chair. And he's one of the most lovely, kindest people I've ever met. I've had him in teaching workshops how to braid nets, lots of traditional crafts, so he's amazing.
So
nice. I made him his own tree, because these trees are on the boulevard and Hessel Road. So there's a tree, so the poppies get attached to a net that wrap around a tree, and the idea behind it is that we change people's perception of their environment, because so many people go down the boulevard, Hessel Road or other areas that have got trees and don't see them, and they don't understand how important they are until there was a couple of trees cut down on Hessel Road, old trees, that ended up in the Hull Daily Mail, and there was people outside harassing the workers and all sorts. All of a sudden, people realised how important trees were to their environment and their well-being. So these installations, the Poppy Trail, is very much about people seeing the trees when they've stopped seeing them. And then they're only up for a period of time, about 2 to 3 weeks, and then we take them down, so there's no damage to the trees. The nets can be reused for the next year.
That's great.
And then people see the trees again because the poppies have gone down. So that's really the purpose of the Poppy Trail. So there was 18 trees and 2 fences in it this year. So and it was Westall. So next year, hopefully, working with some veterans, we'll be able to get it into East Hull, because Andy's told me I've got to do East Hull as well.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get enough to go from east to west.
Oh, lovely.
No, we need the West
Thanks for that.
We need the Westall one to go all the way to Halifax.
Yeah,
Not the saying Hull, Helen, Halifax.
No, we have to go over the bridge, don't we, Steve? We have to go over the bridge to you, Steve, won't we?
Yeah, come to Sheffield or something.
Exactly.
So, I've got a question of, are you planning on planting trees in Nottingham? Very specific question. Are there any plans on that?
There could be. I don't see why not. I mean, obviously, Nottingham with its Sherwood Forest has quite a big foliage, but there's always room to plant more trees, obviously. That'll be great. Obviously, being my hometown, that'll be a very nice thing to do.
I forgot it was your hometown. Yeah. So I'll tell you why, because it's funny, I've never really got the connection. So my latest book that's out, called Mastering the Game of Life, it's not about the book, it's about what the funds from the book go to, and they go to planting trees. There you go. So we're planting trees in Bolivia, Denmark and Ghana at the moment, not the UK. And I'm just thinking, well, why can't some of the money go to the UK? No, the authors in this, 22 different authors in this, they're all around the world, USA, Denmark, a lot in the UK. And the guy that's put this all together is based in Nottingham. The theme is all about forests. So he's a very big Nottingham Forest fan. And so that's how they got the connection with the trees. And the guy that's doing the trees is from Denmark. I'll connect you later on, because you'll have a lot to talk about for sure. And then there was a baby that was born in America that's part of the author group. And there were problems that it was COVID, and it made the news headlines in America a big thing. And so we sponsored the child. And so they've named the child Forrest. So you've got Forrest, the baby, Forest in Bolivia and Ghana and Denmark, and you've got Nottingham Forest. So that's where the forest theme comes from.
Wow, like the sound of that.
But we've got no trees in Nottingham Forest, in Nottingham, so, or the UK.
Right.
So I just feel that there could be a
Mission.
connection somewhere.
Mission. AD, I've got a question for you. I've got two people. I've got Ben Gale trying to log on, can't get in.
Right,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. And another guy, Dave Withers, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I've just a message saying they're trying to get in and can't get in. But right, so I think we need to have another drink and then we'll do another question. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Come on, Chris, you must have a drink. Come on. You've not got a cup of tea.
I have.
Oh, bless you. Louise, you promised your glass of Prosecco. You promised.
I know, but I've got a report to write after this now.
Louise, just a sip. You promised.
Okay, right. You'll hear a pop.
What are their names, Gail?
Oh, she's
what are their names,
Gail?
Gail?
In the kitchen. There you go. You can't buy this entertainment, can you? There you go. I've given you this for free, fellas. You what? Sorry, Chris. What?
Louise has just crumbled badly, hasn't she? She just got no willpower whatsoever.
It's gonna be the biggest.
No, I won't. You need to. Go on then.
In my arm.
I can't stand up because I've got tracky bottoms on.
I haven't crumbled. I made a promise to Gail.
Thank you very much.
It's only because I made Gail a promise.
You don't
very good, Louise.
Gail,
that's
who
good
can't?
Camaraderie. Thank you very
much.
Thank you very much, Louise.
Gail,
cheers.
Who can't get in?
Cheers.
Ben Gale and Martin Withers.
Ben Gale, Martin Withers.
I'll just message and say there he's trying.
Gail.
Just click.
Gail.
I've put just click the link. Yeah.
Did you just say you're wearing tracksuit bottoms?
Yeah. They were comfy.
Ben Gale.
Only the image though, but never mind. You should see what
I'm not wearing. There we go. What did you say? Sorry, I was just messaging. Let's see what I'm wearing.
Doesn't matter. I won't tell you what I'm
wearing. There, aren't we? As long as you've all got something on, it doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah. Anyway,
we're recording this, so.
Oh, I mean, yes, I've got my jeans on.
Yes.
Looking very smart.
I was joking. This is a dress, so it's a dress. There we go. Yeah. I was joking.
So, Andrew, can I ask you a question? Where do you get your funding from to plant all these trees? Where does it come from?
Quite a few different places. A lot of government funding coming out now from DEFRA. And we work very closely with the community forest in this area, Haywoods and the White Rose Forest, which handle Chris's area, Halifax. There's the Northern Forest 2 grant coming out. There are another funding stream coming from Trees for Climate, which is everyone's tapping into. And we've had a few projects funded by the Woodland Trust. But different organisations provide funding for different things. The Woodland Trust will only support up to 80% of the project costs, which doesn't allow us to pay the veterans to plant. And that's, I think Gail might have mentioned it earlier, if you've got volunteers planting trees, there's a high mortality rate, tree mortality rate. So some of the Woodland Trust ethos at the moment is to give trees out. But we were at a school today, they've had 2 lots of trees from the Woodland Trust and they've all died because they've not been planted correctly and they've not been maintained. So it's a bit of an issue. And that's where we've come from a different angle with the Northern Forest and spoke to the funding bodies and said, you can't expect volunteers to plant 50 million trees. it's not going to work. You can get some of it done that way, but you run the risk that they don't survive, and ultimately people are working, you know, they're not available, and somebody's got to coordinate those volunteers. So we've moved into a position of saying, whilst we work with volunteers, it's far better to pay veterans, some of whom are suffering from mental health issues and need to be outside. Better to go down that road and kill two birds with one stone, you know. So, but there's certainly a lot of money out there at the moment for planting trees, which is great. It's not always in the right areas, though. So the amount of funding for the East Riding is not it's not split equally along the community forest on the M62. So we seem to be the poor cousins on the end of the M62 on this side, on the east of the country.
Okay, it's interesting that there is a lot of funding and a lot of help out there. Sounds like it's something that you build up the knowledge of where to look and who to ask, I guess.
True, but it's still, sometimes it's easier and quicker to go to corporates who want to support a project, because for example, the project today, the last 2 days, was funded by Trees for Cities. So they're looking for predominantly urban forestry projects, and it's great that they've got access to funding, but sometimes projects fall outside of the city boundaries in a small urban setting or on a farmstead, and Trees for Cities won't fund that element. The Woodland Trust are looking at hedgerows, but they'll only fund 250 metres of hedgerow for each project, which it's great. But for us, we're tending to look at pretty, I'll say, small to medium sized projects that require 2 or 3 days of planting. So it's if you get over half a hectare of planting, you've then got the paperwork to put it on the public register. You've got to do quite a lot of checks to make sure that it's not an archaeological site. It's not a site of specific interest. There's a lot of things that are involved in a woodland planning grant application, and some of the things we've got to do to check beforehand. It's quite time consuming before we get out planting trees. That's before we even look at what money we need to go and plant the trees. So
yeah, I don't think people realise. Yeah, I don't think people realise what goes in the work and the involvement. Adi, don't worry. They're both saying they can't. I've resent them the link and they can't log on, so I don't know what's going on there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what's. I can't.
Yeah, I'm doing this obviously now. I can't be texting them because I can't get on.
The link does work because
yeah,
we're on it. So
we're on
yeah,
it.
well, yeah,
exactly.
So
exactly.
There's only so much you can do. I have this at some
snooze you lose.
Yeah, you know.
Snooze you lose. It's one of them. Never mind. So yeah, does anybody want to ask anything other, or we can just have a bit of a chatter and then okay then. So ask AD and Andrew about the forces. Sorry, the questions flagged up and then went off. There we go. Chat. So 11 messages from you. Okay. So ask AD and Andy about the work ethic of the forces, personal and veterans. So there you go. There's a question for you too. AD, do you want to have a little bit of an input?
Yeah, of course.
Your internet's not on par, is it?
I know. No, that's what I mean. Yeah. Cheers, Andy.
It does my
He's done that on purpose.
Cheers, Oppo.
This is the technical guy, by the way. This is the technical guy. So
I know. Yeah. I've got
very suspicious, Adrian.
I've got honestly, I've got Virgin Internet.
Adrian.
And I know.
That was my really bad impression.
I've got Virgin Internet. And I've got obviously BT Internet, and I can't. Exactly. See, you can't even. You can hear me. Yeah.
We're losing you, and you're a techie guy. Very suspicious, Adrian.
I know. I'm going to throw this computer through the window, I think.
You've just frozen with a cheeky grin on screen. Just a cheeky smile. That's all we've left us with.
Do you want me to answer that, Gail?
Yeah. Go on, Andy. You don't have to.
Okay. So that's the question. The work the work ethic of forces personnel and veterans. I think there's a tendency, and I think Louise and yourself will have seen that today. There's a tendency for guys to roll their sleeves up and get the job done. And certainly from your perspective, I know you've had a lot of interest from companies wanting to recruit veterans. And I think that's because whilst there might be a job description, the guys tend to, if there's a job to be done, they'll crack on and do it, and they'll just work to get the job done. And there's a good work ethic there. People will just carry on, and they won't be saying, well, this is not in my job description, I'm not going to do it. If you're out in the field or you're on a ship, there's no turning to anybody else to fix the job. You've got to do it amongst yourselves. So it's good. You see it today. The guys they'll work, and if they know they can finish early, they'll put the extra effort in and get the job done, so they can get away.
There was a sense of pride. There was a sense of pride, in all honesty.
Yeah, and I think that's what, coming from a recruitment point of view, that's what employers want to see. There's there's sometimes a stigma attached to forces personnel, and there shouldn't be. The guys, they're disciplined, they show respect where it's needed, they'll work extra hours, they'll do what's needed to get the job done. And I think more and more companies are coming back around to saying, whilst they don't have business acumen, they've not cut their teeth in business, you put them in a structured organization, and they fall into line very quickly, and they get groups that are not ship shape and Bristol fashion. They get them ready, and they can. You've seen today, the guys can take charge of a group of 30 people really easily, and they're not afraid of it. That leadership and management is inbred from day one.
Yeah,
so I think that's what companies are looking for. You've had a lot of companies reach out to you, and I know we've been using GA Recruitment for the Green Task Force in different locations. I think it's because of that reason. You've got a few opportunities at the moment. I think might be interesting for people to listen to as well.
Yeah, well, come the new year, I'm going to be recruiting for 3 companies all over the UK. Normally, I've kept it sort of local into my area, East Riding, but it's literally branching out now all over the UK, because people are seeing, obviously, there's veterans all over. I've joined the Armed Forces Covenant, so I've signed up for that. So I'm official and can be registered for that. And there's the various career transitioning partnership, so I can get access to ex-forces people. So yeah, it's kind of I've been veered towards that direction. I've been doing recruitment for so long now that it's nice to go into a direction. Actually, what's rewarding for me is actually helping the veterans, transition. They come out of the forces and with the resettlement, and they don't know what to go into. It's been nice coaching and helping them in the career path and finding them work. And they are so reliable. I've had, in my time, had that many people let me down and take jobs and then not turn up on day one. And it's not saying that's everybody, but it really, really does impact. It's the opportunities. It's unreal. So I will be a veterans recruiter come the new year for sure.
Gail, sorry to interrupt you. This is a bit of a different change of line. Just listen, you're about transitioning from sort of the military to work. I do work with a guy in Leeds, and he actually used to play rugby league for Hull Rugby League, and he advises people. He financially advises rugby league players who get paid a lot of money, but without being rude, probably going to rugby league without much education.
Right.
And he gets involved in the mental health side of it as well, because there's so many rugby league players who finish up at 32, 33, or even earlier if they're injured, and they have no qualifications, save no money. They don't. A lot of them quite often a bit. There's some quite sad stories come from rugby league. Probably every sport.
Okay. Yeah.
He's from a Hull background. He's played for FC.
What's his name?
A guy called Ewan Dowes.
Ewan Dowes, yeah.
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 Okay. Oh, it might be worth an introduction. I mean,
I don't know if that's something that could be.
I do career coaching as well. Yeah, that's part of. Obviously, I've been focusing on the recruitment side, but the coaching side, definitely mentoring. That's part of my remit as well. It's part of the GA. You know, I've been helping them put together a CV, the profiling, which is how the LinkedIn videos came about, daft as it may sound, because stuck in COVID, like Louise, you know, I'm a people person. I'm used to being out and about, meeting people, clients, and so stuck in four walls and only having your little box to communicate with people. And I like to talk. People that know me well will, yeah, well, no. And I'm even worse when I'm, which is probably why, Steve, I'm coming along with it. I think public speaking eventually is probably providing that I know when to shut up. It's probably sort of my area of expertise. So yeah, that would be something I'd be interested in.
Ewan works for St James's Partnership. Works for St James's Partnership, and he's been around people. Like he's been to Hull KR, he's been to Hull FC, he works for Leeds Rhinos. He had a bit of a contract with Super League where he went around and advised people. Well, he isn't a sort of a career advisor, but he's had a bit of an advisory role.
Right.
I reckon. I've got no experience in recruitment whatsoever, but I'm guessing there could be maybe something in that for you. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's why. It's I've got that time of life, and in my career, I can actually help and make sort of a difference in that. So that's the way forward, which is why I started doing the LinkedIn videos, because it was boring, stuck at home, and it was a way of reaching out, passing on a bit of wisdom. And now it's escalated to I've got a YouTube channel, and my kids think I'm so cool. And so yes, so to them I'm a YouTuber and I'm cool mummy, so which is awesome. But yes, I mean it's a good way of giving me experience, speaking, and getting better at that. In fact, not many people think I'm from Yorkshire. Technically, I am from York. I've been in Yorkshire a long time, but I'm not technically. So yeah, definitely send me a message and we'll do the linkage on that.
Yeah,
because coaching would be good. Oh, Adie's on the screen. Can you answer to any of that question about the forces, the mentality, Adie, the work ethic?
Yeah, I think I mean, speaking from personal experience.
Your signals. Your signal's shit, mate.
I know.
I have said the S word.
I thought you said shit, mate.
Tell her how it is, Gail. Go on, tell her.
Well, it's like, you can't sugarcoat it. My kids take the mickey out of me because my daughter, in fact, she's online now. Sorry, Ruby. My daughter's watching this anonymously. She's she likes to watch, bless her, and she watches some of my videos, and she's my best critic ever. So
good.
She makes
That's what you
fun
need.
and
That's what people need. That.
Yeah, so it's a mixed bag. I say a lot, and yes, there's a few things that I say. So I'm not going to say because then you'll be all picking it out. I think you, Andy, have noticed I say "oh dear" quite a lot when I've been out and about in the field, like an old lady. So yeah.
And you can't sugarcoat it. And that's another one you've just mentioned.
Sugarcoat it, yes. So. And
also, I don't think Ruby's that anonymous because her name is on the screen.
Right, okay. Ruby Acaster, yes. Hi, darling. Oh, bless her. She's my biggest fan.
I'll turn a video on if you want.
Yeah. She can talk more than I do, so you can imagine stuck in a room with me and her.
Bless
her. Great.
I know, Chris is from Halifax, so Chris, it looks like we might have a common acquaintance or loose acquaintance there in a former rugby league and rugby union player who was a police inspector.
Do you know him, dear?
We had the pleasure of playing Great Britain Police up in Bradford one time, and John Hamer was coaching them, and John Bentley came down at the same time. So John Hamer lives about
literally just up the road from me. I know. I'm mainly from here. Yeah, in a roundabout way. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
No, that's weird.
So we ended up having a couple of beers with them. John Amer's been out to see me in Thailand, actually.
That's it.
John knows me really well.
Yeah, John, his son Laurie plays rugby. Well, I used to coach him at Old Bros Rugby Club. Yeah, that's a small world.
Yeah. And John Bentley was obviously down there to watch the Great Britain Police, so we had a few beers with him. And I think we were in Bradford watching the Bradford Saints game, and he then just decided that he thought we should all go around Halifax for a beer, but I had the pleasure of meeting
Luke Cannon, isn't it? John Bentley.
Well, yeah, good, but I think it's sort of something that we've seen. There's a linkage from the mental health point of view. I'm not saying John Bentley's got mental health issues at all, but my point is that it's the blue light services. There's a linkage there with what we're doing with the veterans. That's been extended now to the blue light services. So we've had discussions with Humberside Fire and Rescue, and I know Gail had a meeting with Humberside Police this last week. So there's quite a lot of links there. You know, we talk about PTSD and we tend to think about the veterans. It's been re-termed now, or rebranded it in a way as combat PTSD, because your blue light services, your paramedics and all the others are suffering from PTSD. Even that, you know, look at the nurses with the current situation with the pandemic. So it's been slightly rephrased to make it more synonymous to the groups that it's targeting. And if you forget that the police and the fire brigade and the paramedics and the nurses are suffering from PTSD as well. So I think what's happened from my perspective here, whilst we've opened the door on the veterans side, the links, and we're starting to see social isolation and the links to the great outdoors and nature, whilst we focused on one particular sector of the population, it's affecting everybody. And I think, Gail, you started to do a lot of that with your videos, you know, being outside and just showing the benefits of being outdoors and amongst nature.
Yeah, I think a couple of weeks ago, actually it might have been the other week, I was having a down day. It's Friday positivity, and I thought I'm not so positive today, and I thought keep it real. You know, I'm not a Debbie Downer at all, but so I decided to go out into, I'm lucky, we've got Beverley Westwood. So it's a nice big area and I like to go running there, or sometimes I just like to go for a walk. So I did my video there, and I just spoke and I said, you know, I'm having a bit of a day. It's COVID, the COVID thing's getting me, and picked myself up, etc. And the amount of people that got in contact, and you know, and made a point of saying, I agree, right, I'm going to go out, I'm going to go for a walk, Gail, and you know, it's the impacts are unreal. Tim, with his video that he did for the Green Task Force, I mean, that was quite powerful stuff. And today, I've done one today of him. He was laughing and joking, really jolly. And I was like, you all right there, Tim? He was like, I'm loving it. And that was me trying to do an impression of a army rugby guy. That's as best I can do. But yeah, it was great. You know, absolutely. And it does make you feel better. And that's not just me sugarcoating it or bullshitting. Oh God, I slipped out. God, potty mouth tonight. I'll stop drinking now. It's because I've had a drink. Swearing, see.
Also, like today,
my LinkedIn videos are doing quite well. I've got like 134,000 views or something on my channel now. If I start swearing, I wonder if it go up or down.
Initially it would go up, and then I think
there'll be some people that'll be like, oh my God, you know, she's posh, we don't like that. There'll be some obviously that yeah, nice one, Gail. So yeah, we've got actually on the Eventbrite with the Green TV in a couple of weeks, we've got a couple of Navy chefs, a gentleman, lady, can't remember their names. The ladies, you know, ex-Navy, so a bit more rough and ready, and he's doing a naked chef thing, not literally naked, but I think he is going to put just an apron on, and we're doing some special there, and there'll be lots of, well, drinking, and so that might be fun for you to tune into as well. So I'm not just wearing an apron, I just like to put it out there. I might drink rum though, I'll see. We'll see. Sean and Kelly, thanks Adi. Adi's just said it's Sean and Kelly.
I think Louise felt the benefit today. Like, it brightened up Louise's day getting out amongst nature, but also, you know, you tend to be working in your own environment or in a small office, to get out amongst a group of people. You know, it's I'm not saying Louise is suffering from social isolation, she's not, but that benefit of getting out and social interaction,
it does.
is a lot better. What do you think,
is.
Louise, what do you think to that?
Unmute myself. I do. I think I do suffer with it because I'm such a social person. The work that I do, how I work, is very much about being with people, and being in lockdown, and you just can't meet up with people. I'm used to having meetings in cafes, as you well know, Andy. Sometimes he buys a coffee, sometimes he forgets, you know. Just saying, Andy.
Not very gentlemanly.
No, the first time he made me wait an hour and a half and I still didn't get a coffee. You know it's true, Andy, that's why you're laughing.
What, when Mike Morley went to the wrong place and he's actually
I knew he was going to use that as an excuse. What he does is he tries to distract from the truth there by blaming Mike Morley, who went to the wrong Costa, which is a totally different issue. I still sat there, and honestly, it was like a desert in there, and I was sat in a coffee shop.
I know, there was a queue outside the door and you were already in, so you could have rang me and said, Andy, I'm already in the queue, what do you want?
I can't believe you waited, Louise. I'd have been off.
You know what?
I'm just so self-worth.
You know, I was just sort of sat there waiting. I mean, you know, Andy, you let me down. And then he took me to another coffee shop where I've got a milk allergy. He told me how fantastic this coffee shop was, got me to go there, and then I couldn't really have a drink because they didn't have any milk alternatives. I'm just pointing out, Andy, so everyone knows what's going on here. He's muted now. I bet he's swearing at me. But going back to the whole isolation and being out together and stuff, the effect on my mood, how it made me feel, it's so positive. And now I'm not particularly, my mental well-being is quite good. So for people that are really struggling, I would imagine it has a huge impact.
Yeah, I found when you days when you're working from home, you know, kids have gone to school and everybody's working, doing their own thing, and it's nice just to take a walk, and see people. I said hello to random strangers on the way to the Westwood, which makes me sound really dodgy. But you know, people, you smile back, and it's just joking aside, obviously I made a joke of it there, but joking aside, does make you feel better. And like I say, not that I'm suicidal in any way, shape or form, not that I've had wine, but it does help. It's a very good motivation thing. I'm just waiting now for COVID just to go, and just so we can get back to a little bit of normality. We've got vaccines now, and we'll see. It's going to be a good couple of months into the year, isn't it, by all accounts? But I'm just waiting for the day we can go to events and online networking. I know I'm due to go to Elland Road in Leeds in March, on March the 11th. John Lloyd Hughes, he lives in Spain now. He didn't like England, he buggered off. He holds events all over Yorkshire to bring people to get businesses. Mostly it's a free event. Oh God, it sounds like I'm doing some PA publicity for him now, but I'm just trying. I actually, you know, people decline networking things and say, oh, I ain't got time and I haven't. How exciting next year is it going to be for us to go to conferences, go to networking things, you know, and actually interact, and I was going to say shake hands with people, but I think it's going to take us ages to get back into that. I felt it. I'm a hugger. but it's in my nature. So I've really struggled. And the kids and people, well, because my close friends and family don't mind, but it's a struggle. You see people, you give them a hug, and we've lost that whole social interaction, I think. So if anybody's got any more questions, it's coming up for 8 o'clock. A little bit disappointed not everybody's come in. We had 25 signed up, so I don't know why they've not logged in, which is a bit, but never mind. But thank you everybody for coming, and thanks guys for coming in support. Really appreciate it, and yeah, hopefully tune in for some other events. If anybody's got anything left to say, I'll shut up and I'll let you get on with the rest of your evening.
What's that, Eddie? What's the dates of the next ones? I know we said we've got some chefs coming on to do some cheesy hammy eggies and baby's heads.
Yeah, you got it right there, mate. Just get me 2 seconds and I'll tell you all. Okay, so the next one, we've obviously got yet to confirm Mark, who is all his work and about Health Heroes and all these projects he's been involved with. And the next one after that is on the 10th, which is the Navy Chef event, which is the what Gail was talking about, about half naked chef and things like that, showing you how to make some goodies, around the Christmas time and things like that. So that should be a good one as well. Then we got Kelly on the 15th, another ex-Navy chef that is going to obviously do a different kind of menu to Sean, different personality and things like that. So, really strong Welsh lady. So she can, that'll be a fun event for that actually. And then we've got a Reiki session to be confirmed on the 17th of December as well. And to finish, obviously, December off, we've got a Christmas quiz on the 21st of December. Do not miss that. That's going to be a class event, that is. So yeah,
it's with the veterans, isn't it, AD? So
yeah, it is. Yeah, it is with veterans and the families. Any if you want to attend, you're more than welcome to just follow the same process like you did what you came on today. So absolutely awesome. Yeah. So yeah, it's been good to see you all as well. I'm sorry about the technical issues there.
Don't worry. It's one of those, isn't it?
Can I ask a question? Who's hosting the quiz?
Izzy.
Gail.
Actually, no, he's handed it over to me. He's handed the reins over to me now.
Has he?
I'm asking the questions, but
just for the benefit of everybody else, his name's Neil Gay.
His name's Neil Gay.
But his nickname's Izzy Gay. Oh dear.
Shocking.
Yeah.
So the agreed. So obviously we've got the events. I'm hosting them all, so we'll try and make it fun. And throughout December, it's Christmas, and I love Christmas, so I'll be very festive the whole time. And do people's heads in. I've got some more tree planting, haven't I, Andy?
Sure, there are a few more projects before the Christmas break.
Yes. So I'll be busy lady.
To do some, and then if Nottingham's on the cards.
Yeah, let's do Nottingham as well. That'd be good.
First, I were in there first.
Of course.
Oh, I don't know Nottingham. You see, so maybe my hometown. I might win over there. I've got tinsel, so I've got one up on you already.
I've got nothing. I've got no comeback.
Right, we're technically adrift for another meeting, so we're going to need to go.
Okay.
Steve, Chris, Louise, thank you very much for today. Absolutely loved hearing you what you had to say and things like that. When I had internet, that was. So yeah, thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thanks so much. Thanks for joining in.
All right, good night. Good night, guys. Bye bye.
Good night. Bye bye.